Hello YouTube, it's Tony. So today I'll do a loot video on the Parcels event and I will talk about my channel plans for the future. So essentially this is a multi-purpose video, in which case it's mostly a feedback based video. The most recent event we had is called Parcel from the Hedge. This event ran throughout the entire March of 2019. When you're doing skilling or combat, you will get a parcel of a random size. I mean, most of the time I get small parcels. So I will be opening a total of 400 boxes. As I'm opening the boxes, I'm just going to discuss my channel plans for the future. First of all, here is my current XP. I have less than 100 mil XP left, and only 3 skills. These are attack, strength, and thieving. The overall XP per hour I have right now is a whopping 534k. See, even though I make a lot of guides, at least I try to keep things super efficient. Weird flex, but okay. I know you're gonna ask me, oh Tony, you bought a lot of treasure hunter keys. The truth is, I actually haven't bought a single treasure hunter key myself. All the keys I have are either daily or completely earned from the game. Anyways, I'm hoping to get 5.4 bill XP by maybe the middle of April or something like that. So the next thing I'll talk about is streaming. Now, unfortunately, I haven't really been able to stream, but that's because I've been doing a lot of repetitive activities and mostly some big guides as well. However, I will release a streaming schedule. Now, I'm only planning to do it twice per week. The reason being is because I want to start really small and I want to make things manageable. Here's my schedule, and this is in Eastern Time. First is Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m, and second is Saturday from 3 to 5. The next question people are going to ask me is, what are your plans after 5.4 bill XP? Well, first of all, I want to do Iron Man series for maxing. Yeah, I haven't really been on my Iron Man as of late, but that's because I've been grinding so heavily on this. As for what I'm going to do on this account, that would be mostly used for learning bosses or maybe even making guides as well. I'm probably not going to go for completionist cape, let alone trimmed. Let's talk about the Discord server. Now, I've officially opened this to the public. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this, but yeah, I will leave the link in the description. See, I had this privately set for a couple months because I didn't know how to manage things like the bots, the roles, and even the permissions. The next section I'll get into are the video ideas. Currently, as most of you know, I do the following. Mostly skilling content, high-level combat guides, and even the Iron Man series. I'd like to propose a couple of new video ideas. The first idea I'd like to talk about is the fastest max cape without treasure hunter. I really want to do this episode, but at the same time, I think this is going to be on hold. I mean, by the time I get 5.4 bill XP on this account and I max my Iron Man, I'll probably be completely burned out from skilling. Maybe later this year I'll do it, but for now, it's going to be on hold. Something that has been asked a couple of times was, what did it feel like when you first returned to this game and how did you discover everything so fast? Yeah, so I will plan to do a separate video on this. As a matter of fact, I will also do a guide and tips video on basically returning players. Now as for my guides, yeah, even though as of late they have been more noob friendly, it's still not really clear towards a complete noob. I know you might be thinking, well, 1 to 99/120, when I mention 120 that means that it's really high level, right? I try my very best to explain to a dummy, it's just, from a learning perspective, you can't truly put yourself in someone else's shoes. The next proposed idea I'd like to talk about is a learning bossing week. I said a couple of times something about perspective, right? Well, maybe that would provide a good perspective as to what it's like learning bosses you've never done before. This also ties into my next proposal, which are the bossing guides. I know there are a lot of bossing guides here, but I have surprisingly been requested to make these guides. I'm not sure about clue scroll content, but it's a possibility. Now, I'm planning to maybe do a loot video from clue scrolls, like maybe 100 master caskets, 1,000 easy clues, or whatever. This would be really exciting seeing a loot tab for this. Finally, I'd like to talk about my face reveal. Technically, I didn't clickbait you on this because the mysterious face doesn't completely mean that I'm going to do it in this video. The face reveal will happen when I get 15,000 subscribers. You might think I'm crazy, I'm doing this for attention, but think about this. I want to hype people up, and secondly, I want to make this a celebrational video. Realistically, maybe in a couple of months I will be able to get this. At least this will help me practice on how to speak to a camera more comfortably. Trust me, I haven't spoken to a camera in many years. With all that being said, these are the proposed video ideas. Now there's a pretty good chance you may not see this at some point in April, but I'm hoping somewhere in May or something like that. Either way, I'm completely open to feedback or any sort of suggestions, so feel free to comment down below. Alternatively, I do have a feedback form for this, and I will leave that link in the description. Alright, so this is my combined loot from Parcels and the fan mail. I mean, the loot as a whole isn't all that great, but it's still free cash from skilling anyways. Now, it's around 1.4 mil worth of loot, and I also got some stars and lamps as well. As I do have a lot of stamps, I ended up buying the large parcels with them. Now, they do seem to give you cosmetics very often. For me, I have most of the cosmetics unlocked because these past couple events I was able to log on very often. So yeah, thanks for watching and I hope it helps. If I missed anything, feel free to ask. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already because I will try to do these proposed ideas at some point in the future.